Hello and welcome back to Geordieland 1892. Another fantastic weekend. Saturday saw Newcastle on the rampage again. Unbelievable game. First half probably wasn't the greatest, but the second half was something else. They rolled over Aston Villa 4-0 at the weekend, and it was very convincing in the second half, to be fair. Villa, who had recently parted company with Steve Gerrard, Danks coming in as assistant manager or assistant coach. Obviously, tomorrow, I believe, Tuesday, they will have a new manager in Unai Emery, who was picked to come to Newcastle just a year ago, really. But he wanted to continue to manage Villarreal as they were in the Champions League. We were pretty much bottom at the time. So he will take up that appointment from tomorrow. But Newcastle, really, to be fair, were at the races again. And their record so far is quite outstanding. So Newcastle lie in 4th position in the Premier League. 4th place. One defeat in 13 games. Unbeaten in the last 8. They've scored 14 goals in those games and only conceded 4. It's a fantastic record, and they have the best defensive record in the league not by far, by 1 goal really. But Newcastle's defence this season has been incredible, and credit where credit is due. The midfield obviously is working really, really hard, the engine there, and a high pressing game is a joy to watch. First half was a little bit disjointed, a little bit frustrating at times, but that's not to say that the lads didn't play well. They did make chances, they did create chances, but it wasn't really until kind of 45 minutes plus 6 added on time. Callum Wilson stepped up to take a penalty. Ashley Young had handled the ball in the Aston Villa area, and Callum Wilson stepped up and made no mistake. 1-0 Newcastle. He did have another chance, and he did put it in the back of the net straight after, just before the referee blew for half time, but it was offside. So Newcastle went in, heads held high, 1-0 up. Now the reason for all of that added time was in the first half, Villa goalkeeper Martinez ended up clashing heads with Tyrone Mings, and he was down for a considerable time. The medical staff let him play on, which in my opinion was wrong, but there you go. Eventually he was substituted by Robin Olsen. As you could see, he was having difficulties, and the referee did add 10 whole minutes onto that half. We played 55 minutes in the first half. Incredible, never seen that before. Now the second half was fantastic. It belonged to Newcastle United. They swiftly moved up the gears, and Aston Villa alarm bells were ringing all over the place. Newcastle were unstoppable, honestly, in the second half. It was great. It was great to see. 56 minutes, Wilson scoring a headed goal just at the back post. Converting that, getting his second in front of England manager Gareth Southgate. He did look a bit pensive during that game. Maybe he's going to take him along for a ride to the World Cup, who knows. 59 minutes, Joe Linton getting his first of the season, just rolling it past Olsen there. Great goal, and incidentally in front of the Brazilian national team manager Tietê. And he looked like he was just over the moon, 7th heaven, didn't he, scoring that goal. Newcastle 3-0 up and coasting, really. There was absolutely nothing coming from Aston Villa, to be fair. Nick Pope had very little to do, and they had no shots on target in the whole game. Moment of the match, really. Yet again, that man Miggy Almiron just popping up there, and 67 minutes He hits a ball from distance and he bends it into the corner, giving Olsen absolutely no chance. Miggy, once again, he's scoring some spectacular goals for us. It's about time, but I'm absolutely loving this kid at the minute. It's just unbelievable, isn't it? The change that he's gone through. Maybe, that little jibe from Jack Grealish maybe made him stand up a little bit and think, I can prove you wrong. But I do believe it is the presence of Eddie Howe that has made Miggy a much better player at this time. Pretty much after that, Wilson got another chance. He could have had a hat-trick, and he rattled it off the bar with a bullet header. It was a pity. That would have been great to see him get a hat-trick, especially in front of Gareth Southgate, wouldn't it? But on comes Jacob Murphy, who actually did set up Wilson's header, and he shoots from distance quite low, and he smashes it off the upright, bounces out off the post, nearly another. To be honest, it could have been 7 or 8 on Saturday for Newcastle with no reply from Villa. The villains were turned into victims by Newcastle United, and no more sobbing on the time. Eddie Howe decided, and rightly so, to change the squad around a bit. He made 6 substitutions. 6, you say? Well, how's he allowed to do that? Well, of course, by the rules of the Premier League, if a player on the opposite team is substituted through to concussion, it means that the other team are allowed an extra substitution. So instead of 5, it meant we could have 6. There was a few people quite confused about that on Saturday when I was watching the match. I didn't watch it at St James's Park because tickets are absolute gold dust. So I had to find somewhere to watch it, and that I did. But there was a few people scratching their head about that. And I had to explain that rule. Now, he brought on Matty Targett, Jacob Murphy, Jamal Lascelles. He brought on Alan St Maximum and Chris Wood and John Joe Shelby. All getting a little run out there. Not long, but Newcastle United had done the business on Saturday, winning 4-0. Like I say, it could have been 7 or 8 for me. It was a fantastic performance by Newcastle United. Now, Newcastle could have moved into 3rd position on Saturday, and Bournemouth were taking on Tottenham, who Tottenham are in 3rd place. They were actually 2-0 down and came back and won 3-2. So Newcastle stay 4th. Chelsea, they were hammered by Brighton. Graham Potter's Chelsea, not long ago, he was at Brighton, and Brighton, down at the Amex Stadium, hammered them 4-1. Unbelievable, really. Manchester United won at the weekend 1-0, so they're a point behind us. And quite unbelievably, apart from the Chelsea result, I thought the Liverpool result was quite a big one. Liverpool losing at Anfield to Leeds United 2-1. Now, of course, Arsenal maintain their 1st position in the Premier League after a 5-0 walloping of Nottingham Forest at the weekend. That couldn't have been too nice for the Forest fans, but Arsenal seem to be flying at the minute. Definitely possible league contenders, aren't they? Yeah, so apart from Gareth Southgate and Tiede, the Brazilian national coach, being present at St James's Park on Saturday, David Ginola was there as well, giving a wave to the fans and getting plenty of applause from both sets of fans as he plays for both sides, didn't he? And Amanda Staveley and Meredad Gudusi getting applause as it came up on the screen, congratulating the anniversary. What can I say, really? Newcastle United are flying at the minute, and long may it last. We've got 2 games left in the league before the World Cup kicks off, and we'll be away at Southampton and then at home to Chelsea. 3 points in both of those games would be an unbelievable achievement for Newcastle United. But obviously the World Cup, has it come at the wrong time for Newcastle United, where we've got to take a foot off the pedal and wait for over a month to get back into the swing of things? We'll just have to wait and see. Maybe the rest might do them good. They do have a friendly, and they will be out in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. We'll just have to wait and see what happens there. But another great win for Newcastle United, and you know, that man Miggy's on fire. But the whole team as a unit, it's perfect at the minute. It's perfect. I couldn't complain about any player on that pitch. I haven't been able to for weeks, to be fair. Listen, if you like this video, like it, and if you'd like to subscribe, please subscribe. This is me, Keeper, from Geordieland, 1892, after a very, very nice weekend watching Newcastle United. I'm out, and ciao for now.